Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Savannah and welcome back to Huckleberry Hills, which is our Planet Coaster to Challenge Mode park. And as you can see here, we are adding the very first coaster to the park. So as I mentioned in some episodes prior, I wanted to add a wooden coaster right here near the entrance because I felt like a wooden coaster just kind of fit the vibe the most of this kind of small carnival type park, coastal park, whatever we're going for. I'm having a really hard time sticking to like coastal feeling and not swinging to Western because of the pieces that we're using, but I feel like we're walking that line pretty well. Now, before we get into it, I do want to preface that not only is this my very first coaster for this park, it's my very first coaster build ever. When I played Planet Coaster 1, I took things off of the workshop. I didn't build my own coasters because it took a lot of time. I didn't think I was that great at it, and it was just easier for me to pull something off of the workshop and make it pretty and decorate it and do the station and the queue and all that kind of stuff rather than spend my time working on a coaster. So those of you that know a whole lot more about coasters than I do, that are typing out a comment right now to tell me what a bad start this is or how unrealistic the final product is, just pause a moment. Constructive feedback is always welcome, but if you do not like the coaster, if you do not like what I built, the simplest answer and the easiest thing to do is just don't watch the video. So I'm warning you now, if you're hypercritical of coasters, you likely will not like this one, and that's okay. I'm really proud of it because, like I said, it's my very first coaster build ever, and for a wooden coaster, I feel like it's relatively okay. I make absolutely no claims to say that it's completely realistic, that, you know, it's perfect or anything like that. Let me grab my notes right here because I definitely did not memorize that information. But to start, I wanted to make sure that both my incline and declines were kind of around the right angle. So when searching, and again, this is just Google information, it was just the first thing I kind of found. I didn't do too much research into it, but it told me that 26.5 degrees was kind of the average incline or the usual incline angle for a chain lift on a wooden coaster. And then going back down, 42 to 50 degrees was the usual range for the drop on a wooden coaster. It did say that there was one coaster, and I forget which one it was, that the greatest angle was 60 degrees, but given that this is kind of a lower budget coastal, like carnival-y type park, I went with the average. So I really tried to keep my angles within those degrees, and I didn't really pay too much attention to the speed or anything. I think it goes 30 miles an hour or something like that when I was looking at the test things. But as you can see here, I get the incline and that first curve done pretty quickly, but then it takes me forever to get the angle correct for the drop so that I kind of just hit the corner of the station there. And this build overall, it took me a little over an hour. I think it was an hour and 9 minutes or something like that to build completely. So it did take me a really long time, which is why you're seeing this in a time lapse. So Huckleberry Hills still will primarily be a real-time build park. And after this, we do some real-time building on the station itself. But I figured just so that I could get both some station building and the coaster building in one episode, the coaster building would be better as a time lapse. And that way I could talk to you guys about it. Because it is my first coaster build, I was really kind of focusing on getting the hang of the tools and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't really using any real coaster as a reference. The only idea that I had in my head was kind of sort of a figure eight. I wanted the coaster to be small and I kind of wanted it to fit within this water footprint kind of thing, which was really the only two things that I had on my mind. So yeah, so constructive feedback, absolutely welcome down in the comment section below. Telling me that it sucks without telling me how to fix it is not helpful. You can, it still helps the engagement on the video, so thank you if you're angrily typing a comment down below. But I've seen on other creators' channels, other creators' videos, that coaster enthusiasts can be a little harsh. So not gonna lie, I am a little nervous posting this. And part of me wanted to just go with a workshop coaster, just that way I could shift the blame if people didn't like it. But I want to play the game, and I was having fun with it. And in my opinion, if you're playing a game and you're having fun, then you're playing it the right way. And that's that. So that's what I'm going to go with. Here in this part of the coaster, once I got the drop done and the first little hill done, and then it turns around and kind of backtracks on itself, I was really trying to get this third turn, I guess, to line up with the first one and have it go underneath all the supports and match it almost exactly. I didn't really get to the exact matching of the curve, but it's pretty close, and it fits within that little footprint that I was talking about. So I called it good enough. But essentially, I just kind of wanted the coaster to go like over and under itself a few times. Because for me, when riding wooden coasters, I think that that's kind of the coolest part is, you know, going in and out of all the supports and stuff like that. And then, of course, like the ricketiness of the wooden coaster and things. And I do have to admit, my only personal experience with a wooden coaster, wait, let me think before I say this. I'm pretty sure the only wooden coaster that I've ever ridden is Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm. For those of you that don't know, I am a San Diego local. I have lived here all my life, and so Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm are my two closest parks that I grew up going to, and so that's going to be the majority of my coaster experience. And so that's basically it. So yeah, Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm is really the only wooden coaster I think I've ever ridden. But I didn't want to do something quite that big, or, you know, Knott's Berry Farm is very Western-y themed, and again, we're trying to stay away from Western-y themed stuff, and we're going for more of coastal. Now, this park has a name, but the coaster doesn't have a name yet. So I am open to suggestions. I feel like I am very uncreative when it comes to naming things like this. So if you have a suggestion for what to call our wooden coaster, and that way I can make kind of a ride sign and put it into the theming, that would be really, really helpful. Because I don't have any ideas. I have no idea what to call the coaster. I also haven't named any of the other rides that we have, so if you have suggestions there, please do leave those down in the comment section below. And then, there was one other thing that I was there's a POV at the end of the video. So I included the POV at the end of the video because I took it after we were done building the section of the station that we get to build today. And that way it just kind of felt a little bit more done instead of riding a skeleton. It's not done by any means. I kind of throw some trees from the surrounding area closer to the coaster so it doesn't look like it's just built in like an open section of world. But there's definitely some more theming, definitely some more like landscaping and finishing touches and things like that to put into the coaster before I consider it done. So we're gonna chip away at that over the next couple episodes and see how far we get. I'm gonna try to balance working on, you know, specific rides that we put in and getting them done, but also not spending 5 or 6 episodes on the same ride. So yeah, that POV is at the very end. The very last thing we're gonna do in the time lapse is get the entrance and exit kind of sorted. That took me quite a while. The station is higher up. It's on, not stilts, it's on supports. That was on purpose. I wanted there to be a little bit of an incline to walk up to get to the actual station itself. But in order to keep the path from being so steep on the downhill or the uphill, it does take quite a lot of path to make it back down to ground level. So we do have a lot of path queue decorating to do. but I end up switching the entrance and the exit to opposite sides. And when you exit, you kind of walk underneath the chain lift, which I thought was pretty cool. We're gonna have to figure out some way to decorate that and make it beautiful. And we got quite a long queue to go. When I do get back into real time, the queue doesn't really fill up, so it might be a little too much. But again, I was just trying to keep the path from being too steep on the way up. So it is a smidgen of a hike. So hopefully guests will be okay with that. Now, the very last thing that I had on my mind and thinking while I was building this, we obviously are building the coaster in water, and the supports for all the coaster, or for the entirety of the coaster, have concrete at the bottom, but the concrete doesn't go up high enough. So like the wood supports are in the water. I have absolutely zero interest in custom supporting this coaster and making the concrete go up higher, although I was thinking of it and I still may do it, but for now, just pretending that the wood part of the coaster is concrete, it is not going to rot and crumble and fall down into our little pond here. So just ignore that. Like I said, there's a lot of supports for this coaster, and not that we can't custom build supports for it. But if I do, that will absolutely be something that I do off camera, because I don't think that's very entertaining to watch. So let me know your thoughts and comments and everything down in the comment section below. We're about to jump back into real time and get going on the station. I am recording this after the real time and on a different day, so apologies if I'm repetitive, because I actually don't remember what I've said or what I've talked about in the real time. But let's get back to it. And with our coaster now complete, we can go over here to our challenges and we are awarded some cash. So yeah, let's get started now on a little bit of the ride queue area and station. I will be honest, I don't have a super solid idea for what I want to do, but I did pull up a couple pictures. One, I don't know where it's from. The other, I think it's the wild one, wooden coaster. I think it's in Six Flags near Washington, DC that is. And I obviously have never been there, so I don't know. I was just doing a quick Google search, excuse me, of wooden coasters just for some inspiration, and that is one of the first ones that popped up. So if you are familiar with that one, do let me know. But I figured we could just start by getting a little something over this coaster. Now, I don't necessarily, oops, that was the wrong one, want to build completely on the grid for this one, but it seemed easiest, especially, well, I guess easy if I could put them on the right line, that would be, because that is incorrect. There we go, perfect. I do want it to be open and not have a whole bunch of solid walls, which is kind of the design of, well, both of these coasters actually that I'm looking at. Is that gonna go in the middle? Not really. Hopefully it's not gonna clip too bad. That actually kind of sort of, well, kind of sorta. Is that one of the queue lines? I think so, right? It's kind of right in front of that. Might have to mess with that just a little bit. Let me finish surrounding this first, and then we can obviously take things on and off the grid and move them around as we please. Oh my goodness, there we go. I kept hitting it twice. It was not meant to be hit twice. Okay, nice and symmetrical. That's beautiful. We're gonna take this, and I actually think I want to go for something maybe a little brighter. The one that I'm looking at actually is white, and I'm not sure if I want to stick with the white or not. Maybe I want to stick. And to be honest, I haven't recorded the voiceover yet for the time lapse that started in the beginning of the video, so apologies if I'm repeating myself, but I don't know as of yet if I want to keep the coloration of the coaster. just yet. This orange and white. Just taking a drink of water really quick. This orange and white is not really in line with any of our other colors. However, I'm not super upset about it either. If we play around with these maybe first, and maybe we just change the orange to our red color. Oh, it's raining. It's raining and we have 0 shelter for our guests. Apologies. Well, I mean, I guess there's a little bit of shelter with the trees and things like that. Yeah, if we change this to our red, does that help it kind of blend in a little bit more? Yeah, kinda, huh? And I kind of do like the white. So I was thinking maybe with this, edit building, what if we did do like a yellow that's really bright? I want it to be a little more faded than that. Maybe even more like that, kind of? I do think that kind of works. I do have to figure out what I'm going to do for path supports and all that, because right now, obviously, the queue and the exit are all floating around willy-nilly. Let me... Okay, one thing at a time. Let me focus here. Edit this. Let's grab that one and this one, I think, are the only two that we kind of have to split from the building, and we need to adjust a little bit. If that's just right in the center of this thing here, that will... Oh, goodness gracious, my hand's a little shaky. Yeah, that will prevent anyone from kind of clipping through. They might clip through just like an itty bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. The question being then is, what do I do about the rest of these? Because obviously that then throws everything else off. What if we actually just take this and we do that kind of thing? I don't necessarily like hate that. These aren't in line all that much. If I take this whole thing, what happens if I move this whole thing just a smidgen over so that it meets? Actually, that could work. And they can still come in between those pillars. That's great. I could even do... No, because then that clips on the other side. We'll do this. We'll leave it right here where it just touches together here, and it's a little thicker, and that's fine. So that just means like the little entranceways around where you get on the coaster is a little bit different, which is great. A little bit of detail. I do. Now I think. Do I want to trim? Gosh, when my brain starts like 4 different sentences at the same time. I was just trying to think to myself if what I wanted to trim these in. I mean, do we just keep sticking with our tried and true piece here? Because that's what I've been using for basically everything, and it works. And you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. What if we did this and made sure that I am on the right grid from the get-go, so we don't have a complete repeat of the ice cream shop. Raise that up and do both sides here. Am I going to be able to fit this in between? I think so. I think this is the right... Oh, hello. That was not on the right grid, but that actually reminds me just to make sure that I put them in the same building group. So we don't have a repeat of last time. I'm trying this brand new flavor of carbonated water from the Waterloo company, which sounds like a bathroom product to me, to be honest. However, it is quite good. Usually for me, I struggle to drink carbonated things that aren't soda, just because I have such a sweet tooth, and it's kind of always what I gravitate towards. But I'm doing my very best. I'm trying very hard. Hello. To get myself off of that habit. And so drinking these carbonated waters is kind of sort of helping. And the Waterloo ones really aren't that bad. See, this is not square at all. Is that because this whole building isn't? It sure looks like it. It's square with the station. Let me start completely over. And we're going to come down here and we're going to do angle snap to 45. And that way... No, we need it less than that. We need 30? Okay, maybe not. Okay, I guess this is where I'm going to try our align to surface here and see if it gets it right the first time. That looks pretty dang square. So now if we rotate this vertical and bring this over and try to line this again, I just want to make sure, again, we don't have a repeat of that stupid ice cream shop, because that was a pain in the butt to redo. I guess I don't really care if it goes below here. I'm kind of planning on bringing the bottom of the building kind of out to the edge of this path anyway. So I think that's all fine to stay visible for now. Okay, is that straight? That looks a whole lot straighter to me. I guess we'll find out when we do this one here. Looks better already. And now the question being is, do I want to continue this trim just straight on across? So like if we did all the way across like so, or if we did individual little archways. Maybe all the way across might look kind of cool. It's a little different than the reference picture that I'm looking at, but potentially. Anyway, back to my carbonated water. I'm trying a brand new flavor from Waterloo, and what the heck is it? It's guava berry, and I, for the life of me, couldn't tell you what guava tastes like. Like if you were to give me a variety of different foods or drinks or whatever that were, or if you were to give me a guava, I guess, and blindfold me, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what the heck it was. I have zero experience eating guava. But that aside, I do think it tastes pretty good. It's not quite as good as the lemon or the lime flavor that's usually, like I said, that's usually what I go for. Wait, I need this. Usually what I go for, just because it kind of mimics Sprite, and obviously I really like Sprite. It's carbonated sugar water is what it is. And so I get something that's close to that. Do I actually like this? If I went a little bit more white with it, I think could look good. Okay. Oh, don't get rid of it altogether. And I go through phases where I will do really well, and I won't have my favorite soda in the entire world and the best soda in the entire world. Absolutely no negotiations. I will not hear arguments on the matter, is Dr. Pepper. And so I go through really good phases where I don't have Dr. Pepper for a really long time. And reason that I try to cut it out is because it's empty calories, right? It's sugar water with a little caffeine in it. And the sugar is what my brain has learned to crave, because I've drank Dr. Pepper for as long as I can remember. I mean, I was the kid that weirdly would have a Dr. Pepper can in the morning during first period in high school. It would be like, instead of coffee, I'd have a Dr. Pepper. I know it's bad. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me how bad that is for my teeth or my health or anything like that, because trust me, I know. But I always end up reverting back to having Dr. Pepper. So anyway, long story short, is I am trying really, really hard to be a lot better with my choices. And even if I just replace like one Dr. Pepper with a carbonated water instead, or just plain water, to be honest, because it doesn't have to be carbonated. The carbonation just makes me like it a little bit more. I'm doing better, right? So stay hydrated. It's the moral of that story. And what I want you to take away while we build this this little station here, I want to cap off both these ends. And I'm hoping if I do this right, well, we may have to do it custom on the other side because the arches are just a little bit different. Now, will I make it look too Western? I'm also not sold on the color as of yet. So maybe we might have a play around with that in just a minute. Will I make it look too Western if I do 50% here and we add like a trim detail, 15 and 15, that's 30, 45 degrees. If we do this kind of thing, will that make it look, because remember when we started with the restaurant thing on the other side of the park, I originally had it different colors, and I really didn't like those different colors, so I ended up having to change it. I gotta bring this over here like this, and then rotate it around so that it matches. I don't know. I don't necessarily think it looks too Western. Just to make it so that they're not just like open archways with nothing, right? No decoration. You know what I should do, actually, is I should take these and I should just duplicate the entire thing. And that way they're all symmetrical, like these 4 pieces right here. And that way they're all the same spacing, same everything, and they will look beautiful. Do that all the way. We can do that on this side because they are all the same. I guess maybe the arches on that side are the same too. It's just the spacing in between them that might be different. But anyway, oh, I forgot this one. Grab these really quick. And then once we get the majority of the trim done, I think I do want to play around with the color a little bit. Although from the outside, oop, hello carousel. From the outside, or from further away, I guess, it doesn't look too bad. And when we get a roof on it, the reference picture that I'm looking at actually is like red, and then oop, hello. I keep right clicking to get out of things and then accidentally, obviously, deleting them. And then white is what the building is. However, I don't know if that's too much white with the coaster. Maybe we try like a wood texture for this one. Because obviously it doesn't have to be painted something. It could just be wood colored. It could just be light wood colored, I guess. I don't like that either. So what if we did that back to that color, and then this one, we could even just do a little lighter. Because right now it looks like McDonald's to me. That's what I think of. I'm thinking of McDonald's here. I mean, we could go with the white like that. I kind of wanted to incorporate this red because that's what the coaster is. We could go dark like this. A little bit more red. Oh, too red. It's looking Western to me. I think we got to keep it bright colors. I think we got to keep it bright colors, and that's the only way that it'll look kind of coastal, I guess, with all the wood that we're going to build. Otherwise, it's just going to end up looking Western if we do any dark colors. So I'm going to leave it actually white and yellow for now. To be determined if I change my mind. But for now, we're going to build out in yellow and white. Bring this over. These should, in theory, fit. Yes, perfect. And how far out did I have them on this side? That's about right. I am so glad you guys are enjoying this series, and I did want to take a minute to thank you so much. The support on the last episode was phenomenal. It was better than any of the episodes, to be honest. And I don't know what made it different or more entertaining or what, whether it's because it had a speed build in it. I'm not quite sure, but either way, thank you. I do appreciate it. Content here on the channel I know has been a little bit slow, and for those of you that have been following for a really long time, you'll have heard me talk about my current injury, a couple times before. I haven't honestly gotten too much into it just because, to be quite honest, it sucks and it's affecting a lot of the aspects of my life. It's preventing me from doing a lot of the things that I want to do. So it's not that much fun. And when I come on here and I'm playing video games or building, you know, it is kind of my escape from everything else. And so it wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to chat about a whole lot. But I also don't mind sharing details because I do want my content to kind of almost feel like we're playing games together, you know, like we're hanging out and we're chatting together. I know this isn't a live stream and I'm recording it and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna take a drink of water. But the goal of the channel is to be relaxed and laid back, you know, that kind of vibes. So anyway, as I ramble, apologies. Been dealing with some back pain, and to make an incredibly long and frustrating story short, the current diagnosis that I've been given is a ruptured disc or a herniated disc or a slipped disc, whatever you want to call it. One of the discs in between the vertebrae on my spine is not so happy, not doing so great, and it is pushing on some nerves. And that doesn't feel great. So that's what we're working with right now. And that all is said just to say that I have a really hard time sitting at the computer. And that really sucks because obviously these games are played on the computer. You can play Planet Coaster 2 on the console, but I can't record anything on the console without sitting at my desk. So, that is all to say why content has been so incredibly slow. It honestly has not been for lack of inspiration, which in the past, some of my breaks have been for lack of inspiration, where I just don't know what to build, or I'm not into a game and I don't want to sit here and force out content just because I think I need to. It's not been because of that at all. It's honestly just been because sitting at the computer is that uncomfortable, and I really only can get maybe an hour's worth before it gets real bad and I have to give up and I just have to go like lay on an ice pack or use a heating pad or something like that. And excuse me, the one downside of drinking bubbly water is burping, so I will try to keep that to a minimum. Obviously, that's not something you want to listen to on a recording. But anyway, so it's made me very sad because it means that, you know, I have to kind of let the injury dictate what I can and can't do. But my brain wants to do so much more. So, there is good news, though. All that being said, I do have some hope that's a flat roof. That's not the one I want. I want this one. I do have some hope that I'm actually waiting for insurance because, you know, insurance, at least in the United States where I'm at, dictates what you can and cannot get done, not your doctor, which is incredibly dumb. I mean, they have to approve everything before it happens, which is kind of stupid. If your doctor's asking for it, it should just be approved. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. For another steroid injection, I had one done in a different location previously, and it didn't help as much as it was supposed to. So now they're gonna do an epidural injection, which I have never had a child, but I'm pretty sure like it's kind of the same injection that they do for pregnant people when they're giving birth, because it's kind of like a nerve block for the lower extremities. Essentially my left leg, excuse me, is the one that has the sciatica type pain running down it, which is all sorts of pleasant. And I'm cautiously hopeful. Cautiously hopeful because, like I said, it is my second like steroid and lidocaine injection kind of procedure. They did the last one on, wait, I need to edit. Yes. I was like, how do I change the color is what I was thinking. That's the roof. That's not what I want. This right here. I just need to lighten that up a little bit. If I make it yellow, does that look icky? Yeah, it kind of looks icky. Okay, hold on. I also need to fix that Z fighting because that's going to drive me nuts. If we make it white. I don't like that either, so maybe we do just keep it brown. Kind of like that. Is that okay? Maybe we look at other roofs. Maybe we look at other roofs because I also don't like all the beams. You know what? To be honest though, I've hidden them on other builds. So I can probably just do the same on this one, right? If I take... Oh, hello. Why did it shoot me so far away? I lost my train of thought on where I was at. Anyway, the point of the story that I'm trying to tell you in my long, curvy, swirly kind of way on all my little tangents is that hopefully this next injection really does help and alleviate a lot of my pain. Because, man, you take sitting for granted when you can do it pain-free. And when you can't do it pain-free, Lord almighty, do I realize I need to sit a lot. And it's not even because I'm being lazy. It's just you sit when you drive and you sit down when you need to eat and, you know, like on the toilet. Like you sit a lot. You sit a lot in your life. And it's not a lot of fun. This, what size is this? 202. Let me grab the shorter one and make, oh, it's already 202. Beautiful. So yeah, so hopefully that'll work, and I'll be able to sit more comfortably, and therefore then the content will come a little bit faster. This week I've actually done really well. I've had a relatively good week pain-wise, so I have been able to get some content out. Oh my goodness, excuse me, I need to start drinking regular water. I have been able to get some content out. You might have seen the Planet Zoo tour that came out. That was the very first one that I've ever done. It was a long time coming. I've been sitting on that for months and months and months, trying to figure out how I was going to get it done and what I wanted to do and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you caught that and you enjoyed it. I'm not done with River Rock Zoo. I'm actually even contemplating doing a like a Let's Play series for Planet Zoo similar to this, where it's all real time for the most part, and we just kind of hang out and chat while I build. I think that could be really, really cool. And to entice you just a little bit, those of you that are Planet Zoo fans, I was thinking that instead of starting a whole new project, we just pick up on our franchise zoo, Mesa Gardens Zoo, and we just kind of keep going from there because I kind of left that project undone. And I think it deserves a finish. We were actually supposed to be working on a train station way back when, the last episode that came out. And I kind of want to do that. Getting into Planet Coaster 2 here and building more, just obviously building more buildings. You're not building exhibits or anything like that. I kind of am in a little bit of a flow with that, and I wouldn't mind continuing that. So let me know what you think about that down in the comment section below. Another opinion, and this one may not go over as well on the channel as other games, not because it's a bad game, but just because it's a game that I really haven't played a whole lot of here on the channel, but boy have I played a lot of it in life. In life, basically, and that's Animal Crossing. Those of you that are Animal Crossing fans will know that they announced, they as in Nintendo, announced more content for New Horizons. And I mean, if you aren't excited, are you even a fan? So probably like most everyone, I am feeling the sudden urge to start a brand new island. And I think I want to do it with you guys. And what color is this roof supposed to be? Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to place them down and then we will recolor them. Do I want... I guess that's big enough if we just do like that. Oh, why do you have to be difficult? What if we grab this one? Oh god, the white roof does not look good. That and I'm gonna have to do it this way, huh? Oh. Okay, well, I know how to get this done, but it's going to be a pain in the butt a little bit. We're going to do that, and we're going to take these two, and we're going to separate them from the building, and we are going to manually lower them down in place so that they meet up with both of these little roof pieces, like so. There potentially was an easier way to do that, but we got it done. So anyway, I really am enjoying the kind of slow chat that we have going on with this particular series. Although I will admit thinking and talking at the same time is incredibly difficult. That I kind of want to do an Animal Crossing Let's Play. So again, let me know what you think about that. If it's something that you would enjoy or not. I sure do hope it's something that you would enjoy. I might do it anyway, just to see how it goes. And bring something just a little bit different. Why did I type in house? I meant to type in wood. And go to wall. I need the grid piece for this one. Right in there, and there, and there, and there. And then we need the little guy for hello. Why does that not work? Oh, because this is the one I want. I need to be on the correct grid. Where's the little guy? Here it is. Okay. Can you just work? I would really, really appreciate the cooperation. There we go. Perfect. Just to give the roof a little bit of depth, dimension, interest, whatever words you want to use to describe that. Okay, I mean, you tell me, but I'm thinking all this rain, goodness, it's not going to be a really good viewing opportunity for you, but I'm thinking it doesn't look half bad. And on top of that, it does look coastal to me, at least. We are going to do this because I absolutely despise, although, what if we trimmed it but did not sink those in so that they are actually going to be flush with the, if I actually just move this and let's get out of this and this. Oh, okay, I can't. Normally it does that in Planet Zoo, but let me grab my favorites again and grab this one. We want you to be attached to this roof here. I gotta tell you, I really haven't used like a line to surface almost ever until I started playing Planet Coaster 2. It's incredibly useful, and those of you that already use it will know that it's incredibly useful. Let's bring this. I don't want it to protrude so much. We're never really gonna look underneath the hood here, so to speak. But I still don't want a whole bunch of stuff protruding. Goodness, why was that word so hard? Protruding out from underneath. Let's add these to a group before I forget. And then we double click to get back into the group. And then we spin it around like so. This coaster needs a name, by the way. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mention it in the time lapse, so it is gonna be a little bit repetitive, but this is me reminding you that yeah, we need a name for the coaster. We also need a name for basically everything else. I mean, you guys tell me, every ride in theme parks has a name, so like even the little ones, because right now they're all just named like coaster and swings or whatever you name them coming out of the menu. And I'd love to name our stuff, so if you have any ideas, leave those down in the comment section below. I mean, I could Google, like, what I would honestly do is just Google, like, good names for wooden roller coaster, and then I would just read a bunch of them and decide on which ones I liked, or create one from a combination of a couple, you know, that kind of thing. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have your input as well, and ideas and suggestions. Now, this is not the same angle? Oh, it is. Okay, well, in that case, that is too protruding. That word is so difficult. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it out for the short one, like so, and like so. And then if we take this and we delete, and we delete, and then we are left with the itty bitties. And we can pull those two into position right here. And then we do have to duplicate them just a little bit so that it does meet the roof line on top. Okay, I'm also done for it to stop raining. Or done with the rain is what that sentence was supposed to be. It does need to end eventually because I will need to get a thumbnail at some point. You know, the all-important YouTube thumbnail. And I really don't want it to be a rainy thumbnail. Alright, so now, if we bring this across and get this lined up, I think we have a nice little building. To bring in some of the, like, what's it called? Architectural design. I think I'm going to replicate this too. This is supposed to be like a vent. Oh no, I'm out of regular water. Okay, well, it looks like I have to drink the carbonated water. This is supposed to be a vent, but I think if we bring it over here and kind of tie in the two designs, that could be kind of cool. It is not on the same grid though, so we are gonna have to eyeball this one. Great. If there's anything I love in this world, it is asymmetric things, and eyeballing so it doesn't line up. Okay, great. I think that's pretty good. Oh, hello. Come back out of the wall. And then we lower. Okay, okay. Yeah, perfect. You know what? After looking at that for a minute, I do like that idea. However, do I want to do... I want to look for something else first here. I want to look for rooftop decorate. Hello, mouse. Thank you. I want to look for rooftop decorations like so and like so. Wall decorations, roof decorations. Do we have something kind of like this, but not with a line surface on? Off. Not a chimney. Okay, I guess that's really it. It's just this one little piece then, which, I mean, it's not too bad. I kind of wanted to give a little bit of detail on top, but I don't really like that that's not wood and that it's really asymmetrical. Well, we could actually just, one of the pictures has this kind of thing going across the top of the roof. Is there anything else? Wall decorations. None of this is really going to be what I need. Also, by the way, check out the money in the bottom left-hand corner. We're doing phenomenal. I have absolutely turned us around successfully. None of this is what I want. How about trim? And if we go to all, there's like a little white one. I remember using it like the very first time I loaded into the game. Ah, here we go. I had favorited it. If I would have remembered that, it would have been a whole lot easier. But yeah, this little piece right here. We could just kind of do, well, maybe like, goodness gracious. Okay, hold on one sec. Let's do this correctly. Let's do it correctly. Let's get this to 5 and that is straight. No, it's not. Okay. Align to surface. Angle snap off. Okay. There we go. Angle snap on. We want this straight up and down. Yes, just like that. Perfect. And then we bring it into the center here. Beautiful. Just like that. And we can slide this out to the very front. I don't know. This looks very theme park to me. You know what? We're going to do this and we're going to scale it a little bit. Because I think this is a totally appropriate time for that. Yeah, sure. Make it a building thing. And then let me grab them both. Make them a little bit bigger. Something like that. So that they fit both ends. Ooh, maybe just a smidgen. 102. Shorter. Good enough for me. Since we're going to be looking at it from about this far away, I think that's great. We are going to duplicate it though and do it on both of the other little peaks here. And I do think that this is pretty much all... Oh my goodness, I hate when I do that. When I grab the wrong arrow and it starts moving all willy-nilly all over the place. This is going to be about what we get to in this episode. Also, why are they gray? I didn't realize. There we go. Beautiful. Thought something seemed just a little bit off. Okay. This way and this way. Actually, why am I guessing? Take this one and bring this one straight across. There we go. It needs to go back just a little bit. Is that roof not the same height? Or it just went down a little bit when it came across? Oh, it is quite low. Let me raise this one up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. We have, for all intents and purposes, a station cover. Woohoo! Now, this part of it, I think I want to do in stone, at least the bottom parts, because it's going to be going into the water. So I want to make sure that it looks like it's not gonna rot and disintegrate. So if we go into walls again, and we're gonna look specifically for stone, what looks beachy in your opinion? Align to surface off, stick to surface off. What looks beachy? Not that. Oh my gosh. Too close for comfort. Maybe the brick? Oh, not that brick. The brick that we got in the spooky thing. No. Well, actually, that could work. I could potentially see that as being the coaster bottom half of the wall. Is that's not on the right line, right? Let me see if I do this now that we're in this build group, because this is the kind of angle we wanted on. Nope, I already picked that one and it's not it. Where did it go? Come back, come back. No, not the stucco wall. That one could potentially be it, but where did the one I had go? Nope. This is the one oh, nope. I keep thinking that's the one I'm thinking about, and it's not. Nope. That one. So this one could potentially grid size here. If we make this kind of basically, yeah, right at the floor, and it needs to come out a ways, because I want it to line up with this, what is that called? Q. I want it to line up with this Q. So let me bring it up and just measure it real quick. Yeah, if we were to come out there, and now bring this out to here, because we want it to cover all of that. Do I need to lower it? I do need to lower it a little bit, because I don't want it to be higher than the path. So if we bring that out there. Okay. And then, what is this called? Lime plaster wall? Lime plaster wall? Yes. So we need these supports. Like so. Oh, I see, because this one was moved too far. It needs to go right here. I guess it's fine. Kind of hits the catwalk just a little bit weird, but I guess it's not too bad. I kind of want to move in to like there, because that matches. It kind of ends on either side of the orange there. And then below that, we can just fill that in actually with a whole wall. Like that. And actually, you know what? Hold on one moment. I'm going to transition to standing, because sitting is painful. Okay, a little bit better. We're almost done with the episode. My leg is giving me a little bit of grief, but being able to stand and sit is pretty helpful. So we're gonna stand for just a little while, and hopefully it hangs in there. Okay, there's that. Now, the color is always something that I dread. Maybe a little bit lighter. Why is that getting orangier when I go this way? That's actually not bad. That's not a bad color. I can deal with that. Can we go all the way across? Oh, you're not on the right side of the line there, so the corners aren't going to be at 45s, but that's okay. If we take this all the way around, do I want to bring it all the way out there? Whoa, mouse. Do I want to bring it all the way out there or just to here? Maybe just to there, I think. So that it's just the base of the station. Although, now that I'm looking at it, of course I am liking all the pillars and stuff a little bit more. I guess what we can try, let me try this one last thing before we end the episode here, is if I take the same tried and true pieces and get them straight. Okay, it's not going to be straight, so we got to go in here. That's the problem with I ignored my own rule of where I kind of always build without rotating it first, so that I'm building on the world grid with everything, and then I rotate it into place, but I kind of didn't really have a good understanding for what the heck I wanted to do. So it is going to have to deviate from the grid a bit. Let me move this one to the inside of the grid. And then if we take both of these off, and I'm gonna slide them to where it's covering. Oh, you know what? I meant to use the smaller ones because I have a plan. I meant to use these ones. Yeah, these ones. So that the building will drop down to here and we'll still have these supports. I think that could look, it could look relatively good or it could look really bad. But we're gonna go with hopefully it'll look really, really good. I am gonna have to bring these ones in separately. That's gonna have to be one of the coaster ones. Yeah. Because then let's grab these two and split them from the building, but we're gonna bring them in so that they are covering just like the other side, like that. And the question being is we could do this in a different color. Not a dark color, that's for sure. Not that color. Nope. Nope. Do we do blue? Why is everything so rainy? Or we just stick with yellow maybe. This is just the big yellow building, I guess. I do want to then trim. Can I get out of this, please? Trim this so that it looks like it is intentional. Just so much trim. When in doubt, trim it out. It's not a good saying, but it's a saying. Bring that to here. We'll figure out what to do with that later. We can duplicate this and bring this over here. I don't want it to clip with the path, which is a problem. So I need to take all of these ones and split them from the group, and then double click and work on them. Bring them down. If I bring them down to here, to here, so it's okay that they walk over that. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, I think. And then if we duplicate it and do the same thing here, can I change the color of the station? Pretty sure I can. Track area, coaster car, no. So can I not change? I guess I can't change the posts. I mean, we could do our own, but they don't look half bad being dark like that. I think that's all right. Let me get back in here and see if we can just easily duplicate these to the other side. Beautiful. We have just a itty bitty bit left, like so. We can take you and duplicate you across. Okay, I think, to be honest, that might be where we're calling it a day for this one. I mean, I'm not too upset about that. Again, please be nice. Please be nice. And if you hated the coaster, you shouldn't even be listening to me talk at this moment, because you should have clicked off the video a long time ago. But please be nice. I am happy with the coaster. It serves the purpose that I needed it to. I also really wanted to create my own coaster rather than just plopping down something, because that's, you know, half the fun of the game is building the coasters. But do give me feedback. Constructive, nice, polite feedback is always accepted here on the channel. Rudeness is not. So keep that in mind when you're commenting. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave it. The start of our little wooden coaster. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I do hope you enjoyed. Leave a like on the video, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. And until the next one, I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!